Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood, wasn't just another slasher sequel. It was the moment horror tried to evolve when telekinesis collided with a machete. By the late 1980s, VHS shelves overflowed with masked killers and Crystal Lake had gone silent. Then a studio decided to resurrect Jason Voorhees and give him his strangest enemy yet. A girl who could fight back with her mind. But behind the scenes, everything went wrong. Crossover deals collapsed, the censors shredded every kill, and one stunt almost burned the actor alive. These are 10 creepiest facts about Friday the 13th, Part 7, The New Blood. And hidden inside it lies a version so extreme, the footage was destroyed forever. Number 1, the lost gore and the footage that vanished forever. The censors didn't just tone down the violence, they erased horror history. In the original cut, the deaths were far more brutal. Jason didn't just slam that sleeping bag once, he did it 6 times, hard enough to splinter the tree. Another victim was torn apart with a roaring lawn trimmer, but almost all of that was cut out before release. Fans hoped the full version would surface someday, but the truth is darker. Paramount reportedly destroyed the original film reels, the master copies used to make every version of the movie. Without them, those uncut scenes are gone for good. All that remains are grainy VHS workprints passed quietly between collectors. The real New Blood, the version packed with insane practical effects, no longer exists. Number 2, the scrapped condo plot. Jason meets Jaws. Before telekinesis entered the picture, the story was something totally different and strangely familiar. Associate producer Barbara Sachs wrote an early draft inspired by Jaws, not with sharks, but with the same idea of greedy humans ignoring danger for profit. In this version, developers planned to build luxury condos around Crystal Lake. Locals warned them, Jason's body was still buried below, but they didn't care. The story would have shown human greed literally waking Jason up, like nature's revenge, wearing a hockey mask. It could have been a clever twist, but the studio hated it. They wanted blood, not business satire, so the entire Jason versus capitalism concept was scrapped, and the franchise went back to what fans expected, pure slasher chaos. Number 3, the zombie dad ending that never was. The original ending of The New Blood was supposed to be unforgettable. Director John Carl Buechler wanted Tina's father to rise from Crystal Lake as a rotting corpse. Skin falling apart, eyes hollow, water pouring from his mouth, pulling Jason down to the depths with him. It was meant to mirror Jason's own decayed look and give the story a dark, poetic symmetry. But producer Barbara Sachs thought it looked too disgusting and ordered a new version. The reshoot replaced the terrifying zombie with a clean, almost normal-looking man. When the scene hit theaters, fans were confused, and Buechler was furious. His emotional, horrifying finale was gone, replaced by an ending that felt completely empty. Number 4, the movie that was almost Freddy versus Jason. Before The New Blood ever existed, Paramount had one wild plan to finally make Freddy versus Jason. Negotiations actually began between Paramount Pictures and New Line Cinema, the studio behind A Nightmare on Elm Street. Both sides wanted to bring their icons together in one bloody crossover. It would have been the ultimate showdown, dream demon versus undead killer. But then, everything collapsed. The studios couldn't agree on money or creative control. The deal died, and the dream match was buried for nearly 15 years. That failure forced the filmmakers to reinvent the movie from scratch. Instead of Jason fighting Freddy, they gave him a different kind of enemy and created one of the strangest sequels in the entire franchise. Number 5, Kane Hodder's insane audition. Every Jason actor had brought something different to the mask, but none of them were like Kane Hodder. Director John Carl Buechler first noticed him on the horror film Prison from 1987, where Hodder did a stunt so disgusting it became legend. He put live worms into his mouth to play a rotting corpse. Buechler was blown away by that level of dedication. When it came time to cast Jason, he fought hard to bring Hodder in, even though producers thought he was too small for the role. To prove them wrong, Buechler built a full Jason makeup test around Hodder's face, and it worked. From that day on, Kane Hodder was Jason Voorhees. Number 6, the 44-second Inferno. For the movie's fiery finale, Hodder agreed to be set completely on fire, head to toe, and stay burning for more than 40 seconds straight. No tricks, no digital effects, just pure stunt work. It became a Hollywood record, at the time, for the longest controlled burn ever filmed. What makes it even crazier is that years earlier, Hodder had suffered severe burns in a stunt accident that left half his body scarred. But he faced his trauma, suited up, and walked through the flames as Jason. That single shot, Jason emerging from the fire, became one of the most haunting images in slasher history. Number 7. The secret codename Birthday Bash. When production finally started, the filmmakers wanted to keep everything top secret. They didn't want fans or the media to find out Jason was coming back again, so they used a fake working title, Birthday Bash. Even the actors didn't know what movie they were auditioning for. One of them, Carrie Noonan, who had already been killed off in Friday the 13th Part 6, showed up to audition for a brand new role. She realized the truth only after reading the script and saying, "Wait, I already died in the last one." The casting team was stunned. They had almost hired the same actress to play another victim. The fake title worked a little too well. It fooled everyone, even the crew. Number 8. The War with the MPAA. By the late 1980s, horror was under attack. The MPAA had grown obsessed with toning down violence, and The New Blood became their main target. Director John Carl Buechler submitted the movie 9 separate times, and each time, it came back stamped with the dreaded X rating. Every kill was chopped apart, blades cut away early, impacts trimmed to seconds, blood wiped out completely. It got so bad that critics joked the movie was the bloodless Friday the 13th. Buechler was furious, saying the censors had violated his film and turned it into something lifeless. Ironically, the one film called The New Blood ended up nearly drained of it. Number 9. The Friday the 13th movie banned in multiple countries. Friday the 13th Part 7 didn't just face censorship, it was outright banned in some countries. In Singapore, the film was completely blocked from release. Local authorities said the violence went too far, describing it as beyond acceptable limits. During the late 1980s, Singapore's censorship board was notorious for banning horror films, especially those with graphic violence or sexual content. Even in Germany, the movie was considered so extreme, it landed on a list of dangerous media and was renamed Jason im Blutrausch, meaning Jason in a blood frenzy. But as always, the ban only made fans want it more. Bootleg VHS copies spread underground, and the movie became part of the region's horror legend, a forbidden slasher that you weren't supposed to see. Number 10. Explosions, secret writers, and behind-the-scenes chaos. If the movie felt chaotic, that's because it really was. During the huge house explosion at the end, a pyrotechnics crew member accidentally triggered every charge at once. The blast went way bigger than planned. It blew the set apart and destroyed almost every camera filming the scene. Only 2 reels of footage survived, and that's the version we see in the movie. But that wasn't the only disaster. In the credits, there's a mysterious name listed as the writer, Manuel Fidello. The strange part, he never existed. It was a fake name used by a ghostwriter who secretly finished the script during a Hollywood writers' strike. No one ever found out who it really was. Between destroyed sets, lost film, and hidden writers, The New Blood truly earned its name. A production soaked in chaos, pain, and creativity. In the end, Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, became one of the strangest and most misunderstood chapters in Jason's history. It started as a dream crossover with Freddy Krueger morphed into a psychic showdown and nearly burned its star alive in the name of realism. The censors drained it of gore. The studio rewrote its ending, and the director's vision was torn apart before anyone could see it. What was supposed to be a fresh start for the franchise turned into a brutal battle between creativity and control. Yet decades later, fans still talk about it not for what it showed, but for what it hid. The unseen kills, the destroyed footage, the lost version of Jason that might have been the most terrifying of all. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more hidden horrors behind the mask. Because sometimes the scariest stories aren't the ones on screen, they're the ones buried behind the scene.